Good day, everyone. Today I'm going to present my research topic, which is pollution through fertilizers and pesticides. And my research question is, are fertilizers and pesticides liable to pollute our environment? And is there any effects on human health of using these pesticides? So let's start. So first of all, I want to give you some information about today's table of contents. So the first plan is to introduce briefly this topic, and the second one is materials and methods. The third is the result, the fourth is future research advices from me, and the fifth is references, where did I get this information. So let's start from introduction. So what is pesticides and what is fertilizer? So pesticide is a chemical which farmers use to kill insects which are harmful for plants. But nowadays, some farmers are using this incorrectly, and because of that, some insects which are not harmful also dying. We'll talk about it in next slides. So what is fertilizer? So it's, we can say, minerals which we can get from the soil and artificially and also naturally. But what is bad about it is that there is also not only minerals but also some harmful elements also contains. Some fertilizer contains also harmful elements and compounds. So let's talk about disadvantage of using pesticides. So disadvantage of using pesticides is environmental pollution, first of all, because we know that to grow plants we need water. They need water. So because of that, what do most farmers do? They will grow plants near the seas, near the oceans, and then by using pesticides, we can have also some pesticides elements in the water also, like in seas, and it can affect to the species which are living underwater and also drinking this water. For example, let's say fishes will die because of this pesticide, because they don't need it to live, and also it's harmful to them to feed, to drink this sea water. So what can say? Because pesticides contain a lot of harmful elements for insects, but what should we say? It's not just harmful just for insects, but it's harmful for humans, for animals, and for other species too, because it contains some elements which will heal and which will protect this species from breathing. So I will talk about it further. So next is affecting pollination. So what is pollination? Pollination is growth of plants from the seed. Like planting seed is a pollination, and some flowers will pollinate themselves by using some insects like bees, and we said that pesticides will kill insects, and bee is also insect, and by killing bees it affects in pollination. So we can say that there will be decrease in the number of flowers because of pesticides. The next is impact on human health. So impact on human health. Farmers who are using pesticides always will wear mask. Why? Because it's gas which is harmful to human health. So, and medical check was proven that it can lead to lung cancer, which is really serious disease, and most people who was sick with this type of cancer, after all, will die. So next is, let's talk literature review. I found two sources. I found two research papers. First is study in the area of Libya, which in the farms which are using pesticides and fertilizers. So this research was provided by the professors of the University of Banzai, who is Abdul Salam and Mana in 2018. And the second source is talks about the negative effects of pesticides in the big countries like China, India, and the USA. So, statement of the problem. What is the problem? So, my problem is, are fertilizers and pesticides liable for polluting our environment and human health? Will it affect on them? So, let's now go to the second one, which is materials and methods. And the first source, learns the area of the Libya studies, and there are about 52 farmlands in the Libya, and they studied 30 of them. And what did they study there? There were questionnaire, also there were laboratory check for the ingredients of the soil. So the questionnaire was among farmers and the people who are living there near to this. And this questionnaire showed that just 10% of the farmers are using pesticides and fertilizers in a correct way, in a correct concentration. 10% from the 100, and it's really, really low. And then they themselves wanted to prove that, like, we can say that there are human error, maybe they are lying, and they did research on soil ingredients, and they found out that there are more than 10 kilograms of heavy metals in the one farmland area for the 1 hectare, and it's really huge, really big. This shouldn't be like that. And when they measured the pH of the soil, it was about 10. But the normal pH of the soil should be 8 and 8.5 among these. But so why this can be? Because of what it can be. And they found out it's because of pesticides and fertilizers. What about the second source? The second source learned the soil microflora in the big countries like USA, China, and India. And they found out that they are also using pesticides and fertilizers incorrectly. How? And no, there were questionnaires also. It seemed like even pesticides and fertilizers are affecting to the air. By using the air, there are also some heavy metals, like in a gas form. And so researchers did questionnaire because of why do they doing so, and most people answered like because of the number of population increasing day by day. And now in China and India, over 1 billion, and land is not increasing, just the number of population is increasing. So they need more food, and because of that they are doing so. So then let's talk about the result. So we can say that problem is, by first search, we can say that problem is the knowledge of farmers. The knowledge of farmers. They don't know how to use fertilizers and pesticides in a correct concentration, in a correct way. And the second source showed us the second problem is lack of land. So what should we do? And I think I found out the solution for this one. They also found, but they did like an advice for this. And solution for that is using the correct concentration of fertilizers and pesticides, so that it will not affect to the other species. But what about lack of land? What should we do? You can ask. But there is answer for that, but in the next slides. So future research advice. And for the second problem, lack of land, I want to do the future research. I want people to do the future research about the new technologies to identify the correct concentration of chemicals to use, so that if people will create something that it can lead to increase the yield and also decrease the effect on pollination, it will be very, very useful, and it should be number one, because of lack of land and lack of food, people can die. And also because of effect of chemicals, people can die. So it is nowadays it's one of the big problems. And solution for that, we should do research to find out the solution. So Martin Luther King, who is American activist, said that for in the true nature of things, if we rightly consider, every green tree is far more glorious than if it were made of gold and silver. So if we use nature correctly, plants correctly, and live with them in a, we're living with them in a one earth. So if they die, we will die. So let's save our nature, let's save humans. So there are references, and it's the end of my slide. Thank you for your attention.